Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Mistress of the Damned. I am your Mistress Katrina. If you are new to the channel, hello, welcome. Nice to see you here. This is where I am reviewing the enormous library of books that is not behind me anymore. As you can see, I'm packing them up as I try and get ready to get new flooring into my office. But I do have an enormous library of books. If you've seen my earlier videos, you would know that to be true. If you like books and like reading and just aren't sure what to read next, hit that subscribe button, like and share my videos, let me know what you think in the comments. I am always open to reading suggestions, so you can leave that in the comments too. This week's book is The Richest Man in Babylon by George S Clason. I have no idea. Clason. Now, if you look up virtually any list of books out there put out by the richest of the rich as recommended reading, this book is on it. It's not a very long book. It's 144 pages, and it's basically just a set of parables explaining very basic finances through stories set in Babylon. So it's kind of this weird mix of fiction and nonfiction. I mean, it's definitely fiction. We have no idea what happened in Babylon, right? Until we invent a time machine, it's going to stay that way. We can extrapolate and suppose based on archaeological record, but we really don't know. However, the tips and tricks he has in this book, whenever you see an article online on how to get out of the poorhouse, the steps recommended are in this book. So it is pretty solid advice despite the fictional setting that it's set in. Now, the steps themselves are pretty simple. There's 7 of them, okay? Start thy purse to fattening. So 10% of your income should be put into savings immediately. Just bam. As soon as you have it, put it into savings, right? If you make $100, put $10 into savings. Okay, just 10% right off the top. All right. Allergy season. So the rule is pay yourself first, okay? And that's not pay yourself first so that you can go out and buy Starbucks with it, all right? And I get that there are people out there who are like, not buying Starbucks isn't going to help me to get richer. I want to buy that book. Hey, yo, right here, all right? That's me, right? I want to buy that book. But putting money into savings should be your absolute first step if you want to not have to live in debt for the rest of your life, okay? Step 2, control your expenditures. Now, once you pay yourself that 10%, control your expenses so you don't go into debt. Credit debt is awful, all right? Control your expenses so they're able to pay cash for everything, okay? That's not easy. Really isn't, especially in today's world where easy credit is really easy to get. In addition to the galloping I wants, that there are needs you have, right? I mean, you need food, you need shelter. Depending on where you live in relation to your work, you may need a mode of transportation, which could be a car or could be a bus pass, but those are expenses that you need to budget yourself on how to pay, okay? Step 3, make your goal multiply. Once you have yourself set up on a 10% of saving 10% of your money and budgeting and living off of the balance, you turn that money that you've been saving into an investment. Make it so that your money is making money for you. Today we call this the stock market, but make good investments. Don't take stock tips from your cousin who heard X was hot, unless your cousin is a stock market professional. Talk to professionals. Learn a bit about the stock market. Learn about the stocks you're interested in. Or alternatively, if you have a friend who is interested in starting up a business and you have the money to loan, again, provided it's a good investment, make the loan, all right? The example he has in the book is somebody who he wanted to get rich, so he started saving his 10%, and then he loaned the money to a friend of his who was a brickmaker who wanted to break into the jewel trading business. That's a bad investment, all right? If the guy wants to make bricks or build houses, that's one thing, but he wanted to go into a completely different area that he knew nothing about, and our little sample guy in the book lost everything because the brickmaker didn't know anything about the jewel trade. So make sure that the business you're supporting, that you're investing in, knows what they're talking about before you actually just jump in. Okay. Step 4 kind of goes right into this. Guard your treasure from loss. Make good investments. Don't take unnecessary risks. Unnecessary risks include like gambling. The house always wins. I used to work in a casino, so trust me, the house always wins. Step 5, make of thy dwelling a profitable investment. Own your own house, all right? I actually do own this house. That's why I'm able to put in hardwood floors instead of this horrible carpeting. Excuse me. And that sounds like, but wait, that's debt, all right? It's debt that goes away. That's the nice thing about owning your house. Yes, you may own a ton up front, but little by little you chip that debt down, and eventually you own your house, and it's a debt that goes away. Rent is a debt that never goes away. If you are renting, you will always have that bill. You will always have that rental debt to pay. Now again, take this one and guard it with, and mix it with step 4, right? That was part of what happened in 2008 with that crash, that housing crash, is people wanted to own their houses, which is admirable and right. You should want to own your own house. It needs to be a loan that you can actually pay back. And those balloon loans, insustainable. All right. If you don't qualify for a fixed rate mortgage, you're basically going downhill fast. Okay. Because balloon payments, that's what happened. That is what blew up the market. At least this is my very limited understanding. I do have a book on that. Haven't read it yet. So, but that's my understanding of what happened is banks were backing bad loans. And the only ones who got rich off of that were the banks because they got all of that property. Okay. Off the soapbox. Step 6, ensure a future income. That money you invest, make sure not to spend the income. Basically, once you start making investments in the stock market, your principal should stay where it is, untouched, and you should be living off of the interest that you're earning from those loans. Okay? And step 7, increase your ability to earn. Good job. You followed steps 1 through 6. Now it's time to up your earning ability. Keep the cycle going. You can do that through taking on additional jobs. All right. You can do that through branching out your investment. That's that diverse portfolio that you'll sometimes hear about. Increase your ability to earn. Don't put all your money in one basket. Okay. All your eggs in one basket, I guess is the correct analogy. Now that all seems straightforward, right? But what do you do if you are starting from the black hole of debt? All right. I mean, there's very few people who don't start out from a place of absolute zero and sometimes in the negatives because they have debt, like student loan debt, all right? Step 1 remains the same. You get that 10% started. Once you get the 10% started, increasing your wealth becomes easier because like attracts like. Okay, that's the basic Pareto principle, right? Like attracts like. Once you have 10% going, more money is going to go to it. It's very magnetic, all right? Gold's not magnetic, dollar bills are not magnetic, but the principle is the same. Once you get used to not spending it, it's easier to accumulate it, okay? So 10% goes to savings. 70% goes to your living expenses, so rent or mortgage if you own your home, food, entertainment, clothing. Yes, you might have to budget that entertainment a little bit lower or your clothing expenses a little bit lower. Okay, you might actually, yes, have to skip that Starbucks. But the payoff in the end is great. You make a budget, you live by that budget, so you have 10% in savings, 70% for your living expenses, the remaining 20% of your money goes to debts. Any money you owe to creditors, friends, or family should be paid from that 20%. Now, in the book, after making a list of all the money owed and to whom, the storyteller went to each of his creditors and explained his plan to get out of debt by paying each of them equally from the 20%. I think, and I'm not going to swear to this because I've never had to use this service, but I think this is how debt consolidation companies work, is they gather up all of your debts and then they go to each of your creditors and say, we're going to send boom, 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 each of you this X amount until the bill is paid. I think, and again, I think that's how it's done. This is not an endorsement for any debt consolidation companies. I have never worked with them. I cannot recommend any of them. I don't know. I only think that's what happens. There are other pathways beyond doing a solid 20% of your income equally distributed among your creditors. Okay. Dave Ramsey built an entire life out of this, and his books are good. I have read some of them and I do recommend them. So 20% spread out equally. You can order your debt so that you pay the highest interest credit first, or you can order them so that you pay off the lowest amount first. There's multiple paths. But the uptake is get yourself out of debt, because once you are out of debt, that's more money you can put towards investment and making more money, have your money make your money for you. Okay. Also, it's possible that you could reach out to your creditors yourself and reach the same agreement with them. Don't know, haven't had to do it, knock on wood. The final lesson in this book was that hard work makes money. Nothing comes free. To get that initial 10% to put into savings, you have to actually work for it, right? You're not going to just have money fall in your lap. The people who do have money fall on their lap, you know, the major slot machine winners, the gamblers, the lottery. We don't have a lottery in Nevada, so I had to think about that one. But the lottery winners, the vast majority of them end up back in debt and working again within 5 years. All right, I read that article online somewhere, and it's the reason it's true is because they didn't earn it. Because they didn't earn it, they didn't sweat for it. The money has no value or meaning to them. All right, they feel it right now because, hey, my God, I just won the lottery. I can pay off all my bills. It's great. Until it isn't, because you've now spent all your money on useless things that you didn't need. Anyways, hard work will see you successful in life. Hard work and diligent attention to your finances will see you quite comfortable in life. And a lot of it starts with this book, right? Richest Man in Babylon. 144 pages. I bought this off Amazon for like $1. That's it for this week. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye.